getting answers from all across Northern California. This is the CBS 13 News at 10.
The refrigeration had gone out, and they smelt the body.
A logger's body vanished after his funeral, turning up 9 months later in a garage.
So how did this happen? Turned into a Kurtis investigation, taking us to a small Sierra town in Plumas County with a population of less than 2,000 people.
Inside this detached garage, next to a Quincy funeral home.
They smelt him, and they smelt the body.
The badly decomposed body of Michael Henry's brother, nearly 9 months after his funeral.
He should have been cremated.
After Philip Henry suddenly died in the summer of 2018, the family had a viewing service. He was unembalmed, part of his Native American culture. Furman's funeral home and crematorium was then to cremate Philip before a traditional Native American burial. But within weeks, tragedy rocked this quaint mountain town. John Furman, Quincy's only funeral director, died.
Everybody knows him. He's the family mortician.
It rattled the town and Mike's family, who never got Philip's cremated remains. Where were they? Furman's surviving family members didn't know, nor did the Plumas County Sheriff's Coroner or the state.
We just wanted him back.
No answers through the winter, then the spring, until the week before Memorial Day weekend. And that foul odor coming from the garage next to the funeral home. Inside, Philip's body.
It was pretty horrific. Nobody looked in the freezer. That would have been one of the first places I would have looked besides the crematorium.
Authorities say the refrigerator was not working.
That's what hurt the most, was them not even taking the time to even look for them to tell me that he wasn't there. That he was there the whole time.
Plumas County Sheriff Coroner Greg Hagwood says Furman's surviving family members, who are not licensed funeral professionals, transferred the cases to another funeral home and somehow missed Philip's body.
It's troubling, it's sad, it's really heartbreaking for the family.
He says his department did not help with the transfer of remains because it falls under the State Cemetery and Funeral Bureau, the same agency Mike handwrote in February about the loss of his brother's ashes. But he says within weeks, the investigator closed the case without finding his brother.
You know, I thought it was pretty unprofessional. Why didn't he push to find out where they were?
Every complaint is assigned to an investigator.
Gina Sanchez, the head of the Funeral Bureau, declined a request for an interview, but claims after Mike's complaint in February, her agency opened a desk investigation into the location of cremated remains. Her staff closed the case without ever going to the funeral home. But 2 days after we requested info in this case, the agency issued a series of citations saying the representatives for the Furmans displayed gross negligence in the handling of the remains of decedent Philip Henry, subjecting the family to unnecessary delays and anguish. The sheriff calls this case troubling.
Put the family through a horrible experience, and it shouldn't have happened.
I just don't understand. Why not some compassion from them people?
In their culture, cremation is cleansing. Philip is now cremated.
He's going to be with his family.
Laid to rest in an Indian burial site near Lake Almanor.
A lot of weight was lifted off of my shoulders. He's safe and he's where he's supposed to be.
Well, the state says after Mike's complaint, it was not looking for a body, just cremated remains, and the agency closed the case saying it could not prove what happened to them. After weeks of trying to get a hold of the Furman family, we heard from their attorney today, who says the simple fact is the funeral director of the small mortuary passed away, and once family members were appointed executors of the estate, they worked with the authorities to transfer the remains.
So what is happening at the funeral home now?
From what we could tell, it is now closed, and John Furman did it all. He was the funeral director, he was the embalmer, the cremation manager. As far as we could tell, nobody took over after he died.
Your heart just breaks for this family.
Yeah.
No family should ever have to go through something like this. Is it true that the state started issuing fines just 2 days after you started asking questions?
It was.
About
We
this?
sent in questions. 2 days later, those fines were issued. Now, the state tells us that was all in motion. Well before we got involved, the fines total $4,500. But considering John Furman was the only licensee there, it's unclear if anyone will ever pay those fines. By the way, our coverage continues on CBS13.com. There we include a clear timeline of events. We're learning the state and the coroner first learned of the body in that fridge well before they recovered it. Why the delay? Also, Mike Henry says he saw his brother's decayed remains. In his own words, he shares that chilling experience. We'll have all of that on CBS13.com.
All right, more to come on this, Kurtis. Thanks.
All right, and if there's something you want me to investigate, let me know about it. Go to CBS13.com/call Kurtis and fill out our form.
An update now.